Hi everyone, this is Abrar. Welcome to Abrar Knowledge channel. Today we are going to see part 4 of ISO 9001 2015 version as such. In that part 3 we saw about a class number 5. In class number 5, just to give you a quick brush up before we are going to go with class number 6. Class number 5 is called leadership. In the leadership, mainly it has got 3 subclasses. You all remember that the class number 5.1, that is leadership and commitment, and it gives 2 small subclasses like 5.1.1 and 5.1.2. 5.1.1 we saw a general requirement what the top management shall do. We also saw about the top management shall demonstrate various things, 10 element we saw. And then we also saw the next point is 5.1.2, that is customer focus. So these 2 things we saw in 5.1. And then 5.2 we saw very importantly policy. In policy, establishing the quality policy, that is 5.2.1. 5.2.2 is communicating the quality policy. So we saw another 2 things. Then lastly we saw 5.3. 5.3 we saw the roles, responsibility and authority. So these are all the 3 subclasses we saw in class number 5. And exactly in the same thing, class number 6 also offer. There are 3 subclasses which we are going to dwell in this video much elaborately. Okay, just to go back to class number 5, there are 3 profound words being used. The entire class start with the top management shall. Top management shall, and all the classes start with the top management shall. There are 3 keywords are being used. Top management shall demonstrate, top management shall establish, top management shall ensure. And then we also given that why that words being used and what is the meaning of that, what is the interpretation of that, we saw in class number 5. So please catch up that video, you will get a full picture of it. And then we are going with the class number 6. Class number 6, as I said, how I remember this class is AQP, like action to address risk and opportunity, that is 6.1. 6.2 is quality objectives and planning to achieve them, 6.2. And then lastly we have 6.3, that is planning of changes. So that means we are going to deal with 3 classes. Just to go back to the structure, in the structure there are 10 classes, you all know, and 7 classes are mandatory classes, class number 4 all the way to class number 10, right, from the context of the organization to improvement. So there are, in the plan section, if you look at, there are 4 classes comes under plan. Context of the organization, that is 4. Number 5, leadership. Number 6, that we are seeing now, planning. Number 7, that is called planning. If you look at the standard, very beautiful. 57% of the entire standard of the mandatory classes scatters into planning, right? 4 out of 7 mandatory classes, 4 out of 7 speak only about plan. 1 out of 7 that is do, 1 out of 7 that is check, 1 out of 7 act. That means 57% of the standard asking us to get prepared, do all these plan and have this action in place. That is plan. Plan has got 4 classes. Let's go further. So in this planning there are action to address risk and opportunity. The standard has given a quotation of 4.1. You all remember what is 4.1? 4.1 is very simple. Internal issues and external issues, we need to go back and see a mapping of risk and opportunity. What is risk and opportunity? When you talk about risk and event, right? Risk can be positive or negative, and risk, there are 2 formulas given. It is likelihood and consequences. What impact it will give, what is the occurrence it can have, right? So we need to map all of this. So okay, these are all the internal issues we have, or external issues we have. What is the likelihood of that? What is the severity we're gonna have, the consequence we're gonna have. So these 3 or 4 columns we need to do it. 4.2. 4.2, you all know, the requirement of interested parties. what are the, you may have a different interested parties like suppliers, like employee, all these. We need to find out the requirement and then build the risk and opportunity model, right? The same thing how we did it for 4.1. And this is what portion, and how portion, it also says that at the end we have to integrate all these into quality management system. And then it says that evaluate the effectiveness of the action. Very, very profound class. It says that when you say a word effectiveness, it comes after the evaluate, right? So you do, you take an action, you monitor the action, you evaluate the action, and then you say whether the effectiveness is correct or not, whether your planned actions are correct or not, whether your planned action are meeting the requirement, whether your planned action are meeting the intended purpose, intended result, and so on. So that is something called 6.1, evaluate the effectiveness. And then we're going to talk about 6.2, very profound class, quality objective. In 5.2 we talked about quality policy. Now we are going to talk about quality objectives. In quality objective, new classes being added, that is called planning to achieve them. The half of the subclass of that is this syntax is planning to achieve them, meaning like we need to have a strategies to achieve them. The first sentence, it says that in 6.2 it says the first point, it says that the quality objectives can be at functional level, at different level, at service level, and so on. That means quality policy, one organization, one policy, that's it, no change. Quality objectives can be at different function, can be at functional level, can be at department level, can be at service level, and so on. But these are all the guidelines. It has to consist, it has to be consistent with the quality policy, yeah, and it has to be measurable, it has to meet the applicable requirement, and it has to have an element called parameter called customer satisfaction. It has to be monitored, communicated, and updated. These are all basic things. What was before in ISO 9001 2008, the same thing they carried out here. The only thing here is what will be done, what resources are needed, who will be done, when it will be done, how it will be evaluated. All of these things are necessary. And then the whole summary says that maintain documented information. The word maintain documented information meaning like document, right? Retain document information meaning like record. So all of these things we have to do, and then you have to have a maintain document information. We need to have a document. That's what this class number 6.2 is all about. Let's go to 6.3. 6.3, again the standard has given a reference of 4.4. 4.4 you all know. Quality management system and its processes. When you say processes, it means end output, it means a bigger picture, it means portfolio, it means service and all that, right? And what we need to do is whenever we are doing any change, whether it's a breakthrough change, whether it is a complete change, whether the change is coming from the the improvement, any sort of improvement, all we need to do is we need to find out the potential impact, and then we have to address those things. So that's what it talks about this class. So 6.3, potential impact, we need to find out the potential impact and arrest it. So let me give a summary. So these classes has got 3 classes. Class number 6, that is planning, has got 3 classes. 6.1, action to address risk and opportunity. It has given a reference of 4.1 and 4.2, and also it has given that very important, very profound word is evaluate the effectiveness, yeah. And then we talked about the quality objective can be at the functional level, different level, function level and department level and so on, no problem. But it has to be consistent with the quality policy, and also has given another small requirement which were there before also as well. The one addition is we need to have the maintain documented information. Lastly, we have planning of changes. It has given the reference of the quality management system and its processes, and then it says that we need to find out the potential events and so on. So in the next video I will be talking about class number 7, that is support. Please stay tuned for that summary to come, and till then please take good care. Please do like, share, subscribe, and if you could comment it, it will be a great help to me. So thank you so much. You have a wonderful day ahead.